The one thing that I'm concerned about is that with this Chinese virus, and it may just be me, but I'm concerned about this. I've noticed that my website guy was and I were talking about this yesterday evening. I noticed that it was so easy for the government to take over the people just like that, almost like it was a test. Oh, the Chinese virus is here. Stop going to the store. Stop, well, not store yet, but stop going to work. Shut down, go home, and sit down. And most people overreacted and just went and did exactly what the government said for them to do. And then the government said, put on a mask. When you walk around, you better be wearing a mask. And all of a sudden, everybody wearing masks. Not everybody, but most people. And I noticed that the people who are giving out these orders are not wearing masks. They are not overreacting by going and buying up all the toilet paper. They're in the public with one another. The media's out there doing the news. They don't have on masks. But the people, they just fall in right in step with what the government said to do. Now, I believe there's a virus. I don't know how severe it is because we don't get the truth anymore. So I don't know. But it's just interesting. Suppose it's not as bad. I'm just saying suppose. I'm not saying it's not, right? But let's say it's not as bad as they say. And it was a test to see how they can really control the people, what the people listen to them. Because once the government take control, they're not letting go. Really. But the people just automatically fell for it. And then there are other people who didn't quite fall for it, but, took precautions and watched and not overreact. And even the people who went right into what the government said to do started attacking those people. When the government said, you better put on a mask. The government said you should not be out. They get mad at you because you're not following government. You're being careful, you're watching, you do the little distant thing that they ask you to do, but you're not like totally giving in to the government. It's just weird to see it. I'm like, suppose this is a test from the government. They're using something that is important, I think. Maybe the virus is important, but not to the point where they can just make you do all this stuff. Isn't that like amazing? Just think about it, smoke on it, and it was so easy to get the people to do it. And I noticed that when the state government, the local government, the federal government held press conferences and things, you had these people doing the hand signals thing, hand signs for the deaf and all that. They don't have on masks. The media outside giving news report, no mask. And now the government, the California, in Los Angeles, or in the state of California, they said come Friday that you got to wear a mask when you're outside and when you go to the market and all that. You got to do it, I think. Something like that. Or you get a $1,000 fine. If you don't wear a mask to the supermarket, to the gas station, you risk a $1,000 fine. What the? And just think, you start giving the government $1,000, especially in California, with all these homeless people and illegal aliens and people begging for government support. Do you think they're going to ever cut that fine out? Maybe want to cuss. They're never going to say, oh, okay, we're back to work, all is well. You can take your mask off now and no fine. It's like with the water situation in California. For a while, we had a really big deal with water. So they start rationing the water and then punishing people who overuse water. And now it has rained like 90 going north, water everywhere. I can't even go to the car wash. I don't need to. It just be raining night in LA, right? I don't see the water bill going down. I don't remember them cutting the prices, putting them back down to normal. That's what's going to happen if they start fining you for not wearing a mask. What I'm saying is you better be aware, stay still and watch. Not overreact because you're losing your freedom, folks. More than what you realize. This president is trying to get everything back to work, normal. The Democrats don't want that. Everything he's for, even that medication that he recommended, or he feels that will work. Yeah, no, it's not going to work. No, senor, no, senor, You can trust me, senor. Senor, no, I'm so nice. I'm nice, senor. While having a big old bag of your groceries they're taking out of your house. You better wake up and do what you want. But it is insane. It's insane. The Blaze. So my question is, where do you draw the line, right? The Blaze is reporting that a father was handcuffed in front of his 6-year-old daughter for violating social distance. Watch this.
You in handcuffs in front of your 6-year-old daughter?
Matt Mooney is the 33-year-old dad who assured his daughter they were doing nothing wrong when police approached and told them they were violating the state's social distancing guideline.
She's like, Daddy, I don't want you to get arrested. And at this point, I'm thinking, there's no way they're going to arrest me. There's no way. This is insane. And, so I'm telling her, I'm like, don't worry, Daddy's not going to get arrested. I've done nothing wrong. Don't worry about it. And then they arrest me.
The sign at Donaldson Park says closed, but in smaller print says in groups of no more than 4 persons, parks remain open for walking, hiking, biking, running, and similar activities. Matt was just there with his wife and 6-year-old. He says it was the officers who were violating social distancing guidelines.
Amazing. So when Nick told me about this story this morning, I'm like, well, what country is this in? This in Russia somewhere? China? He's like, no, it's here in America. It's Colorado. I'm like, what the? Listen, folks, be careful. Watch yourself, right? But all this control that you're giving to the government, they ain't going to want to give it up. You see what they just did to this man, according to this report? They put handcuffs on the guy for walking around in the park with his family. Y'all better wake up, or we're going to be living in China, eating rice. Somebody told me that China people don't eat meat. Is that true?
No.
They don't eat meat?
No, they eat meat.
I thought
I've been to China and they eat meat.
Oh, you've been to China?
Yeah.
And they do eat meat.
Everything is cooked with meat. Everything.
I knew that didn't seem to be true. I'm like, I had Chinese food before. It looked like I had meat. But y'all better wake up. Wake up, America. Don't give up your freedom so easily. Don't give up your freedom. Oh, yeah, they do eat meat. So when you were in China, Joel, how long did you live over there? You stay over there?
2 months.
Did you eat bats?
I didn't eat no bat.
Did you eat rats?
I didn't eat no rats that I knew of.
Did you eat snakes?
Didn't eat no snakes. I ate shark.
Ooh.
I
Might as well eat a snake.
They got meat, though. You don't know what kind of meat you eating. But they got meat, and it's good.
But you don't know what it is.
But you don't. I mean, it tastes like chicken.
But it could be like rat. So if someone knew you and they lived in China and they were there when you were there, and they call you up and said, Joel, what you really ate was rats, would you throw up right now?
By the way that it tastes, I'd be like, I might have to try me some rat there.
Oh, man. Rat meat.
They know how to do it up. I will say that.
When I was growing up, I don't know how true it is, but I think it's true. When I was growing up, I used to think that only white people sinned. because black people were, for the most part, noble people, and they had shame about themselves. Not all blacks. And so I would hear these stories from my uncles when they would go up to upstate New York during the summer when it wasn't farming time in Alabama. We didn't have to go to school. They would go up north and to Florida and places like that for pick oranges and things. And they would come back with all these stories about what they saw white people do that the blacks were not doing at the time. Now blacks are leading the way. The blacks are leading the way. But one thing they said that white people, not blacks, but white people ate snakes. Is that true?
They ate snakes?
That they would eat snakes and frogs.
I'm not surprised. The country.
James is saying some do. They still eat snakes. Oh, man.
I heard they eat alligators and all that stuff. All the country folk eat. The white country
So
folk.
James would say some eat snakes. Cowboy food, how's that cowboy food name? But frog legs and things. What the? You might as well eat the pig. I wonder if eating a pig is as bad as eating snakes. Because you get high blood pressure when you eat pork. And we lived off pork. We ate everything on the pig. Frog leg, I can't even see myself. Might as well eat a bat if you're going to eat frog legs.
But it's like, why can't we? If you eat pig, you eat chicken, you eat turkey. Who's to say, like, where do they stop the line? Like, oh, you can't eat
Snakes.
Snakes.
And bats. But snakes have poison with some snakes. I guess they ate the non-poison snakes. And Nick said, cowboy food, frog legs, and stuff like that. Oh, what is going on in this world? But I guess it'd be as bad as eat pig because I noticed that some people don't eat pig. And pork, I don't eat pork. Every blue moon, I may eat pork. So whenever you see a blue moon, you know I'm eating pork. But I used to eat it all the time. As a matter of fact, we would kill the pigs. We would raise the pigs, fatten them up so we could kill the pigs, the hogs, at the end of the year so we could stock it up and it'd take us through the winter. So I ate some pig. I can smell that bacon now. My grandmother cooked it early in the morning.
The bacon.
Yeah. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.